Hi everyone, so I just thought it'd be quicker if I did a video showing a few things and also showing what I look out for and how I look out for it. The first thing to mention is I'll send you this thing, this Jungle Scout. This is basically the software I use to find product and also judge how good the market is. They have two different products, the web app, which I won't be able to show you exactly at the moment because I don't have it. But there's a video here which I'm going to show you in 2 minutes which explains how it does, and then a Chrome extension which I do have, so I'll be able to show you in details later in this video. The first thing to mention is for the web app, what I usually do is I go in and out effectively of it. So I will have it for like a month and then I'll get rid of it, and then I'll come back when I'm searching for products. I'll go in, pay for it for 1 month, and then use it for that month and then stop it, and then I'll start again later if 3, 4, 5 months later if I need to do it, if I need to find new products, or if I want to find new products. What I suggest you guys do anyway is you sign up for it. You can probably sign up with one email account and all three of you use it. The only real difference in terms of it, you have two things. You have I would suggest you go for the $29 a month accounts. The only real difference is you don't get the niche hunter. It's not that great, to be honest. I've used it a bit. I haven't used it a lot so far. I think the $29 a month is more than enough for you to start with. And anyway, you can all free use it separately. Just give each other the password and all log in. The only thing is you only get to track 40 products. To be honest, that's not massively useful. It is useful, but not hugely useful. It's only really useful to see if there's like a big spike in sales. So for example, you might get one item I saw was like some 6 gallons water bottles was selling really well. But once I looked into the detailed sales, it was selling really well because there was a period where there must have been some kind of droughts in some kind of state in the US, or some kind of emergency, and so there was a ton of orders, 1,000, 2,000 units in a day or so. For this product, and then nothing, and then 5 a day after that, and so obviously that affected the metric of how good the product looked. So that can be useful, but again, you could just put products on and off. So 40 products between all of you. If you have a whole month, you can always remove products once you realize they're not so interesting, or they aren't, or you decide you want to do it. So I would suggest you did that. What I also suggest is once you've done that, if you then send me, it's 39, not 29 if you pay off, but anyway, 39 for 1 month is more than enough, I think. Once you've done that, if you just then send me the logins, I can do another video actually showing you what to do within the software. But I'm just going to play you this video now so that you do it, and I might pause and comment as it goes along.
Here's the problem. You've heard how great of an opportunity selling on Amazon is. Yet, product research is tough. Choosing the proper products can make or break your business. That's why we created Jungle Scout, a total product research solution. Come up with product ideas by quickly filtering.
So just to see, this is what it will look like when you go in. And so what it allows you to do is to select all of these things. So you can start with the category. So for example, I know for Natalia, you'd probably just do beauty. But I'm sure they have car somewhere, or mechanical stuff if that's what you want to do, David. But again, you can keep looking at different areas and isolate it that way. You can do multiple ones at the same time if that's what you want to do. Then you can set the minimum maximum price that you want to look for. Now that's largely going to be dictated by how much money you have to put in. I would strongly advise you not going for products under $10 because Amazon have something called the add-on fee. And they're getting more and more strict with that. And what that does is it basically makes it hard it stops consumers buying a product that you've listed if it's selling for less than $10. Some products get through the net, some don't. But as I said, generally anything under 5 it's got really tough now, but they're gradually making it harder and harder. So I would suggest you don't go for something under 5 unless it's a very small and light product. In that case, they've got a program called Small and Light, but I'll explain to you that once you find that kind of product and you want to do that. But if you do one under 10, there is that risk that they do that. And if they do that, what will happen is a customer will have to spend a total of $15 or $20, $25 on other items in total with your product to be able to buy it. and then so it puts a big downer on sales. So obviously, if you find a product which is very relevant, then you can go and do it, but obviously be aware of that. Then you have net, so that's not that relevant. That's like after Amazon's fee. I wouldn't really use that. Rank, I wouldn't again really overly use that. Estimated sales is one obviously I use. So for example, you want to get something which has say a minimum of $10,000 in sales or 5,000 units. I think, yeah, that's in sales. So that I think you'll have to click on here when you use it, but I think that will tell you the weight of it. Then the revenue, again, I wouldn't really use that. Reviews are a good one to see. The reason reviews are good to see is depending on how many reviews a product has, it gives you an idea how long it's been listed for. So you'll often see, and I'll show you this later, a lot of products, there'll be 1 or 2 products that have been there for years which have a lot of reviews, and then a lot of more recent ones which don't have as many. Rating, and I don't overly use that. Weight, again, you can use that. It basically comes down to, are you going to look, if you've got a really light item, you can look to ship it over by plane. If not, you'll have to ship it by boat. Generally speaking, for the US, a boat shipment will take 3 weeks on the boat, so you're looking at 4.5 weeks from the moment it leaves the factory in China to the moment it actually arrives at Amazon's warehouse. Again, a lot of that stuff in terms of the logistics of doing that, I'll help you once you get to that stage. This whole video is mainly going to be on finding the product. Then you can do the product size tier. So if you're going to use FBA, which I strongly suggest you do, it's when you ship the goods into their Amazon's warehouse and they distribute it for you. You have tiers of products, so you have standard or oversize. The advantage of oversized product is it's immediately a barrier to entry, so it just makes it a bigger and bulkier product. It's just more expensive to do. But at the same time, I generally find that what you've got to understand about these FBA fees is all of your competitors are paying the same fee. So as long as their product is the same size, and if it's the same product, it should be the same size, then you're not paying a lot more than you're not paying more than them. You're paying the same amount. So I don't usually make a differentiator there. The obvious advantage with an oversized item is that you'll probably have less competition. The disadvantage is you'll pay more in storage fees and things like that. So I would just leave both open and just see what comes up in terms of your results. Then this is the seller. So is it Amazon? If it's fulfilled by Amazon, so is it someone like you, but shipped from Amazon's warehouse, or is it the guy from shipping from his house if it's a merchant? So again, I don't really use that. It's not too important to do.
Amazon's product catalog to only see.
So you see, this is what he does. So I'll just go back a tiny bit here. I don't know what happens next in the video, but just to show you, you then get like a list of potential products, and that's why I'm saying if we start using that, I can do a video helping you. But then you just go through these lists of products, and then you see obviously a lot of them often are stuff like Adidas caps or Nike t-shirts, which you can't do. But every so often you'll find one which is good, and then what you would do is you would search for the keywords for that product. On the second product, which is the Chrome extension, which I'll show you in 2 minutes, and that's where you would see, because this only tells you the metrics for that one product. The Chrome extension allows you to see the metric for the whole market on that keyword, so I'll show you that in 2 seconds.
After you've narrowed down your...
So you see, this is a niche hunter. I haven't found it that great, but you can also use that. If you want to use it, it allows you to find more niche stuff. I've used it a few times. I haven't found it that much better, but again, if you want to try it, you can use that too.
Now, your product research, effortlessly add items to the product tracker to drill down on
the difference, obviously, with the niche hunter, as you saw, is the options are a little bit more easy to do. You have a little bit more opportunities, but up to you.
To drill down on the product details. Filter the results to display only the products in your sweet spot. Remove irrelevant products. Jungle Scout provides all the information an Amazon seller needs to pick those perfect products. Stop wasting time and join thousands who have chosen to 10 times their product research today. Jungle Scout. Amazon product research made easy.
Okay, so that gives you a quick insight. Again, I'll send you the links here. You can look at it in more detail for that. But then what I thought I'd do is to show you the Chrome extension. Obviously, I can't show you this for the reason I explained, but to show you the Chrome extension, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through a few products that I'm actually launching. So obviously, don't do these products, but it's just the easiest way of showing you how I use it. So for example, this is one that we found using the Jungle Scout research, And the reason we like this one is it's quite a stable product that, you know, this is not a fashionable product. People will buy this for years and years and years and years. So if we place ourselves high up on this product on Amazon, then we're likely to be able to sell this for a long time. So in terms of the Chrome extension, it's just a little button here, and you press this, and then it pulls out all the information from the page for the lemon squeezer. Now this Chrome extension costs $200. It's a one-off fee, so once you've paid it, you don't have to pay it again. What I suggest you do initially is you just do like a list of the keywords and the products that you think are relevant from the other ones, and I can just send you a screenshot of this for each of them so that you can see if you want to do it. Otherwise, you can pay the $200, but that's just to help you start out. Just to run you through this thing, so obviously this is the averages. These will change. You have an option to get rid of listings which aren't relevant, so that will change all the data up top, so I'll go to that later. Here you get the opportunity score, so they just give you a high demand. This item is high demand, medium competition. They rate it as a 6. So that's just what they think, how likely it is to sell well. Obviously, 1 to 10, 10 is the highest, 1 is the lowest. Most of my items for years were around 4 when I did this recently, so quite high demand and high competition. There are tricks that I will show you in later videos on how to sell those in volume, so we'll get onto those when you kind of need to and when you cross that bridge. But in terms of these ones, I would suggest you go for things which have 6 or 7s. 6 only if it's like a longer term thing that you really think will last for years. 7 if it's a hot product, that kind of area. Okay. Then what you have, this is the ranking, how the product ranks on that keyword. This is if you want to add it to the product tracker. I don't use that. You can if you want. Here, the SP means it's a sponsored product, so that means an advert. So you see this first one appears here, and it also appears here. The first thing I always do when I use this is I remove all the sponsored products. The reason for that is you see how it's changing the numbers here? I don't want it to count the sponsored products twice because they already appear. Most of them will appear in the listings. There's some at the top and some at the bottom. So I don't want them to count twice and affect the metrics I'm getting up here. Okay, so then the next thing I do is I just check that all of the products are the right one. So you see this is not, I'm going to leave this one, but it's not quite the same one, but it's just something, it's so close that I'm keeping it. But you'll see eventually as I go through, some might not be relevant. So you see this one's not relevant, so I'm going to click on this one. You see how the metrics in the top here, how they changed. If you look at the top, you'll see it will change again, and that will happen. So what I'm just doing here, obviously this is one which is very quite established already, but this is why it's good to still, I'm just eliminating the stuff which isn't relevant, so this one too isn't relevant. Again, this just gives you a better data set than what you would have if you didn't eliminate it. Okay, so that's the ones which are the same, basically the same product as what I'm going to do. You obviously have the title here and the brand name, which is not that relevant, and then the price, how much they're selling for, the category they're selling in, which is not massively relevant at this stage. The rank, again, not massively relevant for you. The critical ones here is obviously the sales and the revenue. What this tells you is how big the market is. It's very important because you can get some high demand and low competition, 7, 8, 9 items, but the top seller is making $500 a month. So all of these figures are per month, 30 days. But so if you obviously if the market size is $1,000 or $2,000, then you don't want to overly waste your time. Also, one of the things you'll have to work out when you do this is obviously this tells you how much demand and offer there is, and if it's a good one to do. Then the next stage will be to do, and I'll do a separate video for this when you get to that stage, will be to do the financial analysis to work out how profitable the item can be, and that will tell you if it's profitable and there's a lot of demand and low competition, then you want to go and do it. So here you have these ones. So what I liked about this one, obviously, as I mentioned before, it's a product which is quite relevant. It's quite recent. Sorry, let me just finish explaining all this. So reviews, this gives you an indication of how long people have been selling. So obviously these guys have been selling for a long time. But as you see, there's quite a few people who have 20, 30, 40, 50 reviews. So that suggests they're probably relatively recent. So that's obviously stuff that, it gives you a chance to go after them. If everyone here has 3,000 reviews, it's going to be difficult for you to come into the market. You see this guy at the bottom has 1 review, but he's already making $1,200 nearly 100 sales. I would do better than him because I'm better than him. I'm more experienced and know what I'm doing. But that just gives you an idea. Then who's the seller? So FBA means it's someone like you or me, but with the goods in the Amazon warehouse. AMZ means Amazon selling it. So you see here, you'll often see items will sell better if it's not being sold by Amazon. The reason for that is Amazon basically don't spend as much time and don't do what the kind of stuff we're going to do as well, because they just do so many products. They just want it to sell, so they don't care as much. And then there's no FBM here, but if you saw an FBM, that would mean that it's shipped by the consumer. Again, I would just ignore those. They're not relevant to what we're doing, so that doesn't really care. Then here it gives you the fees and the tier. So this is the tier for the size of the product and the fees. This isn't massively relevant at this stage. It will be relevant when you do your financial analysis, but you would do that. I use a different way of doing it, so I don't use it in here. So I would slightly ignore that. Sellers, this is how many sellers are selling that item. So if an item is available in stores and people can buy it and resell it, you'll get resellers. For your items, you shouldn't have anyone there. Again, once you get to that level, I would show you how to deal with that. So that would always be one, so you can ignore that. LQS, that's listing quality score. This is very important. It's another metric that you want to look at. The top guys here selling, how good is their listing? So that will be the pictures, the bullet points, the images, all of that. And that basically tells you how good they are. And this was another reason why we're interested by this product. There's a big market, big demand. We're a little bit late coming into it. But if you look at the quality of the listings, there's no one who's doing that great of a job in here. So it's definitely one that we can come in and hit hard. And by doing a better job, what this will do, if you have a high score, you're more likely to get consumers to buy your item because they're getting the information they want, and it allows them to go forwards. So that's what I did with that, and that's why I picked this one. Again, this is something that I would expect to get 20 or 30 grand in sales pretty quickly off the back, just because of the size of the market and because of the work I will do after it, and because I know the platform very well. Again, I will show you all of those in separate videos, but I just want to show you these are the key metrics for me on this. Obviously, the question mark is how the key, what it will come down to is what kind of profit or loss you can do. But once you've found some products, I'll show you how to calculate that roughly. And then, what kind of revenue there is very important. How many reviews, i.e. how recent are most of the sellers? And then the listing quality, can I do better than these guys to make more customers want to buy my item rather than theirs? Because ultimately, they're all the same. This is just 11 peeler. They're all going to be the same. Okay, so that's that item. Then the second one I'm doing is a micro needle roller. And so again, I'm just going to run this for you. Again, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the sponsored products here. Now, what you see with this one is this is an item which is more unlike the other one. It's more kind of a fashionable item. So that's why this is one I would do. I wouldn't be so. It would have to be a higher demand, like a higher score, to do something like this. But as you can see, it is. I'm just going to go through the list again to get rid of products which aren't the same one, if there are any. So this isn't the same. So you'll see that the metrics above change. So let's just keep going. This isn't the same one, and like that was roughly the same product, but it wasn't really the same product. So because it had 3 different heads. So it's not the same market that I'm competing in. So that's why I got rid of it. Okay. So now you see this high demand, low competition. Again, you'll see here the top guy is selling 220 grand. The next one is 36. So it's a very, very good market to go into, this one, because there's not a lot of competition, not a lot of, and also you can see this guy, the first guy, he's only got 338 reviews, even though he's selling a lot. So clearly he's probably quite recent. So what you can do also to find out how recent they are, you can come down to the section below here. The section, if I can find it. Let me just pause it. Oh yeah, it's coming. Sorry. The section. Oh, where is it? So they keep changing around the page view here. The product detail section. It used to tell you the date it was listed. It doesn't tell it for all the products now. So that if it doesn't, then you can't see it. But then if you go and see all 338 reviews, you can do by most recent. And then you can go to the last page, and this will show you that this guy first listed the product in August. First review was in August 2017. So obviously he's been listing it for about a year, and that's why you see he's got a lot of sales, because there's not a lot of competition, but he doesn't have tons of reviews. And if you look at all the other people, you see they don't have too many reviews. Again, that's an opportunity for us to come in and do well. Then if you look at the listing qualities, you see it's much better for this one. There's still a lot of these guys with very poor listings who are making pretty good sales. So this is why, again, this is very attractive for me to go and do. Again, this is all stuff that you'll find by, this is one that Kat suggested rather than I found through their software, but it's still a good one. Then the last one I'm going to show you is just Bamboo toothbrush. No, it's not this one. It's this one here, sorry. And this is one that I found through the software. And actually what happened with this one is I found through the software Bamboo toothpicks, which we actually now already sell. But what I then did is I'll show you quickly, I just went onto Amazon. Because we had a good factory, I just typed Bamboo just to see what other products came up, and one of them which came up was toothbrushes. So that's why I then went into search for Bamboo toothbrush and run the search to see what the market size was. Now this one, obviously, I'm just going to go through all of these and get rid of anything which isn't relevant. So all of these are relevant. Now, this one, as you'll see, the size of the market is a lot smaller. Again, it's got a good score. The one obviously reason this was very attractive for me is it's kind of like a biodegradable, environmentally friendly hugger tree type product, and so that's kind of where people are going. If you think about the earbuds, they used to be plastic. They made them paper because too many people were it wasn't good for the environment or the plastic. So this is the same kind of thing. The bamboo wood rather than plastic head. It's just a toothbrush, but the difference is it has bamboo, a bamboo wood body rather than a plastic one, so it's biodegradable, all that bullshit. Okay, so then again, look at the revenue. It's a bit smaller than some of the others, but because of the potential of a long-term thing, that's why I was very interested by this one. Also, if you look at the reviews, you see there's not that many people who have been around for that long, so the same usual kind of thing. And then the listing quality is a bit better here, but again, nothing that I can't do. I would expect mine to be a minimum 8 or 9 when I do it, once it's properly done and finished. So again, there's potential to do well, and there's not a lot of people listing it. So that's why I picked that item. Again, you will have different reasons to go and do it. Once you have all of that done, the next thing is to judge the financial viability of that, but I'll show you that in a separate video, once we get to that stage. In terms of these ones, what I suggest for you that you do is that you set up an account, and you can also look, by the way, if you look at they have a lot of resources here. A lot of this stuff I can show you quickly how to do anyway, to skip you to work, but you can look at these if you want to help you. And then in terms of, I'm sure they have somewhere, they have a YouTube channel if you want to see more details of how to use the web app, that kind of stuff. What I suggest you do, if you sign up to one of those, I can, if you send me the login and stuff, I can go in and show you, I can do another video like this, or we can do a Skype where, I can just show you how you could use it to consider doing it. And if you want, you can either buy the Chrome extension yourself, or if you highlight some good keywords which are relevant for your products, then let me know, and then I can easily go and do that research for you, and send you the screenshots of this stuff, and also I can give you some feedback if I think it's worth you looking at or not. Okay, so that's just a starter to get you started, and I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, bye.